Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Mystics MMOs. I'm your host, Mystic Raven. I only got one thing to say to certain content creators and my haters and whatever. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? I asked. I've been doing this a long time. A long time. Over 20 years for companies as a private tester. There were reasons I was pulled into projects. There were just reasons I was pulled in. I don't do it anymore, um, but I've worked with all the top companies with the exception of Blizzard. I've done private testing for a lot of companies over my years, and a lot of games that were played for the longest time. I gave feedback and I tested for some very popular games and some games that never saw the light of day. Okay. So I'm going to go over update 33. And once again, proof is in the pudding and hashtag timestamps matter. They do. Oh, they do. Greetings, everyone. Today, the combat team would like you to officially. Combat team would like. It's supposed to be to official. Would like to officially welcome you. Shouldn't be another U in there. To 2022 by giving you. Should be another comma. Some insights. I'm not sorry, Gilliam. But it's fine. I'm sorry, dude. I'm not trying to pick on you. I'm serious. Insight on what's coming to combat in the first update of the year. I make mistakes too, so don't worry about it. I'm always whacking shit, seriously. We've been keeping a close eye on the adjustments we made over 2021, and we're relatively happy with how the game's been evolving combat-wise. Yeah, you guys have been doing great, Gilliam, for sure. Has been evolving with character expressions and freedom of build choices. I love that. It's been great. 2021, you guys over there have done the best. It feels Elder Scrolls. It does. You guys have been doing awesome that and that. It's been really good on the combat level. I agree. And I like it because it really, makes you choose, your skills and stuff. And we are dedicated to continuing this work through and through where it matters most. In Update 33, the changes are focused on making almost every player ability in the game scale dynamically. That's good shit. With your highest offensive stat when applicable. Similar to what we've worked on with passives in item sets, we want to ensure you feel empowered to pick an ability or weapon based on the gameplay mechanics and expression they offer you first and foremost, with fewer restrictions. Now, what did I say was the problem when I came back? I said I could never, ever do a hybrid build. It wasn't viable because one of the biggest problems in the game was what? The scale system. It was the biggest detriment to this title. And then lo and behold, they started adjusting the combat system. Because I said, I'm like, look, I'd like to put out a hybrid build, but I can't get one to work. And then they made the changes. Now, this is kind of important here. Watch. This means any ability that used to scale exclusively with spell damage and max magicka will now dynamically scale with weapon damage and max stamina. So those abilities will scale. With this, we want to retain the identity of many playstyles by reinforcing ability cost as a limiting factor in how frequently you can engage with abilities, but with less concern as to how powerful that ability is based on what stat path you've chosen. Now that's important that I've said this. So in addition to, I'm going to skip this part, but they got, they're going to do sets like the Major Prophecy, Major Savagery, the Brutality, and the Sorcery. How those will scale the coordinated, effects. So I like this. I really like this. I'm enjoying what they're doing. Gillian, man, you guys are killing it, man. You guys are doing awesome. This is I'm impressed because I've said what the problem was, and you guys took it head on. And it plays like Elder Scrolls. I feel like that was the one thing last year I got the best world out of I've seen in ESO in years was the combat system. There was a lot of things I didn't like about. I wish there was more lore, things like that. But the combat system, hands down, has been the most best adjustments I've seen over the years. Now, with the continuation of hybridization, we've also gone through many abilities and cleaned up some of their functionalities, making sure the ones that aren't used as often, some sprucing up, good stuff, to make them feel more up to par with abilities of their like. The Sigic Order spammable needs that badly. It's the animation and that it's very clunky. This in addition to usual bug fixing and back end improvement and targeting of the outer abilities or set of balance adjustments. Like the power bash, yeah, piercing javelin, because who really used this except for PvP? And significantly longer uptime for less micromanagement. Okay, now the reason I think these changes are great, but 1 second, right here for my Christmas wish list, we're going to go over this. Timestamps matter. Okay, but another thing I would really like to see ZeniMax improve upon is scaling. With the new features to light and medium armor, being able to take different pieces of armor types to get the stats that you desire, that is a great improvement to Elder Scrolls. It really allows players to customize their build more effectively. But the problem of it is, Fighters Guild scales spell and weapon damage. But we don't have anything that scales max stats in the same essence. Like max magic and max stamina. Is take the Mage's Guild and allow that to also scale max stamina. And that's where you're going to get the changes. So Fighter's Guild ability scales your weapon and spell damage. So what they're really doing is they're closing the gap with how the stat scaling is effective, because we still have Robust and Arcane. Now Infused will increase spell and weapon damage, but the deal about it is it's a 10.5 to 1 conversion ratio. It doesn't matter how you get to that number with this new changes that are going to be implemented. And the fact now that stamina and magic abilities will scale in accordance to the max stat, max Magicka will still now be able to populate a higher damage rate, a high damage rating with stamina based abilities, and vice versa. This is great. See, I don't need that. You guys this is what I was talking about. This was on my Christmas wish list. Every time I make a Christmas wish list, about 3 to 4 items from the list get implemented. And I appreciate the dev team for listening to me. I do not need thousands of players watching my channel. I don't need to be the most popular player in Elder Scrolls. I don't need any of that. I don't need recognition. I don't need any recognition. Because at the end of the day, I've tested for Matt in the past, and I've tested for companies, and they know me. And all I need them to do is listen to what I have to say, and then them decide if what I'm saying, is true. And if it can help. And if it can help, then I've helped the community, even if the community hates my guts. That being said, I'm Mystic Raven. This is Mystic's MMOs. Peace.